everyone, it's Linda McKenna from Golden Rule Senior Placement Services coming to you today with Tuesday Talks. And the reason for us taking a little break from what is popular for this month or observed for this month or a recognition for this month is that we're taking a little break from it because I've been asked these questions continuously. And it's come into a lot of conversations with a lot of my clients as to why use a senior placement company. I've been referred to a lot of clients and they said, oh, they've been doing research on their own, maybe through Googling and all. And what makes me stand apart versus and using a placement company versus then doing it on your own. So if I may, I'm going to talk a little bit more about me, meaning why using a placement company is advantageous and how it helps you plan for the days ahead for your senior loved one. It might be for your senior loved one. It might be for yourself. It might be for a neighbor next door or somebody that you're assisting with or a distant family member. But you're involved in it, and quite honest with you, it is a lonesome roam doing it by yourself. So why not use a service that can help you that is experienced? The reason also that I'm going to have this conversation is the fact is when you purchase a home, you use a seasoned professional like a real estate agent or broker to go around and select the homes that you really have siloed down, the type of home, the size of the home, the cost of the home. So now that that real estate professional has siloed down the choices rather than aimlessly going around looking on your own from, Zillow or anything that's online. So using those online services might be good for some, but why not use a service that is geared or educated in something that you need? The same thing, when you need to have your car is got a light on its dashboard and you don't understand what it is, you're not going to teeter around with something like that. You're going to see it being looked at by a specific mechanic for what it needs. And I can relate that also. When you're having signs and symptoms and not feeling well, you don't diagnose yourself. You go to a professional physician. So with all of that being said, I consider myself being a professional and seasoned in what I do. So why not use a senior placement company? Again, speaking for myself, there is a lot of companies that are opening up as of recent. One of my dear partners that also privately owns her company as well. We have been noticing it. Lately, it's been a deluge of a lot of senior placement companies that are open up. Some are under franchises, some are actually privately owned, or a myriad of services. So all I can say is you kind of really want to check out who you're going to be working with, who's been recommended to you. If your doctor's recommending it to you, why not? But know that person's background, know that person's bio that led them there. When you're working with an online company, you don't know who is servicing you for placement. And honestly, when you are working with somebody, they might not even be in your area of where you're looking for your loved one. But they're a sales professional, but they are not very seasoned maybe, or know of what your needs are. So with a lot of the companies that are opening up now, me and my professional colleague, we may comment on it. Some of these companies are like a myriad of services. They're cleaning, they're downsizing, they're selling the home, they are a moving company, they are a replacement company. Do one thing and do one thing good is all I can say. And there's all professionals in those other areas of expertise that you could work. It takes a village for this to happen. So Again, speaking for myself, I have 25 plus years in healthcare administration, that being in sales management, and that was within home health and also hospice. And most of my client base, my patient base, was in senior living. So I have a good sense of knowing what goes on in senior living communities, homes, facilities, not only from the perspective of working in there as an ancillary provider, but also what is required by state standards. So I am a certified senior living administrator. I did take that test. I passed. I became certified, not to run a community, but to be able to know the rules and regulations that's bestowed upon it. So why is that important? Because we want to make sure that you are going to you're selecting the appropriate options. Now, when we talk about that, when I have this interview or you're filling out one of my client profiles, I am actually developing a client profile of my own. It's like an intake form. I had to do this, honestly, with home health, and I had to do this also with hospice. The more that you know about your client, rather than just a telephone number and an email address and a name, that's a database company. I work totally different. This is completed by you and I having a conversation, filling a client profile, and also maybe consulting with your loved ones or your actual PCP, which is primary care physician. Developing this specific profile is unique to you, or unique to the person that we are looking to do senior placement for. And I call it the 4 pillars of needs. The first one, we talk about the finances, because as much as I might like a Mercedes-Benz, I might only be able to afford a Volkswagen. So we talk about finances because, quite honestly, there's not only affordability now, but over time, so you can age in place. But most importantly, there is subsidizing that can be looked upon. Veterans benefits for aid and attendance, and then also a long-term care Medicaid diversion program. So those are things that we discuss once we discuss a lot about the finances. And we go back, we get a lot of detailed information on that. The second pillar of needs is that of medical. Your medical needs or your requirements to live in a senior living community, what is in that senior living community, meaning how they are licensed, that they could provide the care that you are needing. So a lot of people don't realize there is levels of care that is provided by professionals, but some are very limited as to what they can do. So as you age in place, you might not be able to stay there any longer. You might have to leave. So there's certain diets, there's certain rules and regulations. They might not have memory care, and that might be an issue in the future. So you would have to leave. So medical information from the past and also on the current is very important. So you say you're not getting all this information from a name and a number that liaison or advisor on the phone. So your medical needs are important. And I also ask, when it's the medical needs, is what assistance do you need? What are you lacking in your ADLs, activities of daily living? We really fine tune it, because that's what's going to detect as what your care needs are and the cost of it as well. Do you use assisted devices? That's important. Do you use a walker? Do you use a cane? Do you use a wheelchair, a scooter? Again, very important to be in a community, facility, or home that can help your needs that way. The third pillar is called social. Social is where you are stimulated every day. And we noticed it very, very importantly during the time of COVID that people were home alone, not being stimulated by having a conversation with another or playing games, going to their place of worship, is really something that they were lacking. I always call it's an existence, and I pull out what somebody used to like to do in the past. Can't play mahjong by yourself. I crochet, I don't do it anymore. I don't have a need for it. I can't even begin to tell you how many of my clients have now gone back and doing things that they have done in the past because now they're doing it with somebody in senior living. So social activities is important, what they used to like to do or what they're missing of today. So it's not an existence, you're actually having a quality of life. The last pillar is called spiritual. Whatever your religious beliefs are, there is many services that come into the home, come into the community, come into the facility. Eucharistic ministry, prayer services, pastoral services that come into the community and anoint their parishioners, their religious sector, and it's something that should not be missing at all. So if it doesn't come into the community, we look also for the community that could bring them to their place of worship. So again, once those 4 pillars are balanced, right? If one of those pegs are off, can't do it on 3. It's got to be level. So those 4 pillars of needs are developed. That is that person's client profile, that now I am building something that I can look upon and say, this community is more appropriate because of their license, their services, their activities, and also it is a big consideration also that I have to call those communities that meet those needs and make sure there's availability. Is the pricing right? Is there incentives? And when we set up a tour, believe you me, the time that we were there, we get their undivided attention. So it's not just laboriously driving around in the community and walking in because you don't know if you're going to meet the executive director, the administrator, the owner, or you're going to meet any care staff because they're attending to other residents. So making an appointment is great. The larger community, sometimes I ask them, can we do it over lunchtime? And that's the great part of visiting on a schedule, is the fact that you get their undivided attention, but more importantly, an assessment could be done by their clinical staff. I am great still with paper as much as everybody's electronic. When we go on a tour, you get my golden folder so that you could make notes. In this golden folder, I also give you a lot of information, meaning that, it might be that you are going to be changing your health insurance. Maybe you need to find a new provider, a home health company, a moving company, a downsizing company, a realtor, is all put into this golden folder. So again, these 4 pillars of needs develop a profile. So when we go over to those options of those communities, it is fine-tuned and we are getting to the right places at the right times of day that they can spend with us. You're not going to do that with an online service that they just set up appointments and you go alone. I'm there with you. So you might forget to ask questions, and then I'll just say, hey, Sarah, you forgot to ask, that there is a pool here. Do you assist with pool swimming times? Or I see that you have a gym. Can they participate in the gym? Is it also utilized for PT when they come in here to service my client? I'm asking those questions as well. I do offer you, not what I always say in this golden folder, I offer you a lot of services and resources because it's, again, somebody that you can trust. Are tried and true. Not only did I have personally used them, but I have used them a lot for my clients. So it's attorneys. You might need advance directives and wills and a power of attorney paperwork. So I provide resources for you on that as well too. Like I said, a moving service, home health, a medical provider that is mobile that actually comes into your home or into the community. So these are important things that it's not a telephone. It's something that you don't have to feel like you have to do research. Just like when you honestly and truthfully go meet a doctor for the first time, you have to feel like you need to trust that person with their philosophy. The same thing with the real estate agent. Do you want same philosophy? What is their schedule? What are they going to do for you? All of these things is mostly built on trust. So yes, there is a lot of companies out there. Find out for a senior placement, find out who that individual is that owns it. If it's somebody that's working for the company, what is their resume? What is their background? Are they just a worker or just a sales professional and don't really know all these tedious things that are really appropriate for you when you are placing your loved one? So again, it's trust. Why not use it? It's a free service. It's tried and true. After 25 plus years in, as I told you, healthcare management, I opened my company now. It's 6.5 years ago, so almost 6 3/4. And my philosophy, and that's why I called it the golden rule, is we treat our seniors the way we want to be treated ourselves. I'm just not giving you a telephone number to go see a place. I'm doing deep research. And my philosophy also is, if I can't place my mom and dad there, I am certainly not going to be recommended it to you. So you put your trust in me, and I'm putting that trust back into you. So making sure this is a right move. Yes, I'm located in West Central Florida, but I have placed throughout the state of Florida. I have even placed throughout the United States, and Georgia, Tennessee, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Colorado. Just got a call for one today and for Colorado. Also Texas, Arizona, even as far as Hawaii. So it might be a transfer or somebody moving from there here. I can help you by all means. So when in doubt, you want a little bit more information on me, go to my website. It's www.goldenruleseniorplacement.com. There you will find my bio. You will find testimonials. You'll find all the demographics to get in touch with me. You might have a question or you want to send me some information. But also there is the various options, the types of senior living that I go into detail about, the resources, and there's a whole library of all things that we discuss on a Tuesday talk. So if there's something that you want to see in the future, by all means, give me a call. So as always, why not use a senior placement company? You should be using a senior placement company. This is a precious time, and it's actually my honor to be serving you and your loved one. Thank you for viewing Tuesday Talks. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. And I believe our topic for July 23rd is social awareness. Month is July, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Thank you again for viewing, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye now. Give me a call. Bye.